All right.
Oh, we're live.
Hello.
Awesome. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
You just won't let it die. You will
Hey
not let it
guys.
go.
So good to see you guys on a wonderful Monday evening. We had
It's weird. I'm so messed up on my days.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like Monday, but it is.
We had
But
a quite eventful weekend. You know, our kids were gone and are still gone, so we've got the house all to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We worked from home for most of the morning and
Good.
went in for a little bit this afternoon. And had a really great day. I'm so excited to be here with all you guys. We'll wait as everybody joins in and start taking questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that you guys have lots of good ones. Any of our super close friends, please keep it above the belt.
You got it right this time.
Yeah, the other day I said, please keep it below
You've
the
said
belt.
that twice on these videos.
No, above the belt. Yeah. But this is going to be an Ask Me Anything session. So you guys seriously sling them at us. Any questions about life, love, wine, you know,
business,
William, Chris, all that
whatever.
good stuff. I know we have a bunch of questions that were already sent in.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kelsey's going to feed us a bunch of those. We haven't seen all of them.
Thank you, Kelsey.
So, yeah, perfect. So,
How did we meet?
Ooh.
I don't really remember the first time we met because we just went to school together, starting in junior high or middle school is what they call it now.
Yeah, we've known each other since maybe seventh grade.
Probably seventh grade.
I feel like we're at a party together in sixth grade, but I don't know. But we went to a really big school, both junior high and high school, and fortunately we're all in a lot of the same classes. I know this is not a surprise for Katharine, but we were in gifted and talented, kind of a big deal for me. You know,
I honestly, I was a teacher for 8 years, and going through the gifted and talented training, I think I was mislabeled. I really wasn't all that gifted and talented. I was smart and I tried really hard. I should have just been in the advanced classes. But gifted and talented was a lot more fun. So
we knew each other for a long time, and it wasn't until senior year of high school where I looked over and I was like, "Dang, girl, you got it going on." And I asked her
that 10th grade too.
That's right. I kind of asked her out, and she asked her to go to a party, and she said, "No."
It's like,
she said,
I don't go to parties.
Yeah, so
I get in trouble.
And then
so we quit drawing.
Prom night is really where it all happened. We both went with different people and ended up at the same party, and
we both just went with friends. And
hit it off.
Yeah. Well, and I'm trying to think. So Mandy, your date didn't come to the party with you. Yeah. And my date was there with me. And when Chris showed up, I think he scared him away. He's like, "Yeah, I have to mow the lawn tomorrow."
I didn't say that. Your date said that.
Yeah, my date said that.
But anywho, so then that's how it all started.
Yeah. So somehow we made it through college, and then we got married a year after college. So it's been.
And then had a summer of love. Yeah, all right before college. So let's keep on going to the next question.
What are we drinking?
Oh, that is a great question. Actually, we're drinking two wines.
Yeah,
we're double fisting.
Well, I don't have anything in my other one yet. So
hand me that.
We've got a rosé going.
So we're drinking our good friends Henry and Amy Croson.
That's the red.
This is a little more Vedra, if everybody can see.
Our favorite grape.
Henry and Amy are dear friends. So Henry, the owner and winemaker, I used to babysit him when he was 4 years old, 3 years old.
They were neighbors. And the weirdest thing is actually Chris's parents now live in his house.
Yeah.
They bought their next door neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Way down the road.
His parents were awesome. They owned the TCBY in town, and great folks to know. And if you haven't been to Croson Wines, right in Johnson City, right down the street. So Henry worked with us for 4 or 5 years.
When he left college, he came and worked with us for a long time. He did it all. I mean, he was out there in the winery with you a little bit. He was in the tasting room. He was wine club.
Yeah.
Probably most of the time was in the wine club.
And then he did the last year, maybe a year or two in the cellar, and then started Croson Wine. So he is kind of an all natural Mourvèdre. I think this is all from Nara Vineyards, which is delicious. And so definitely check those guys out. Super great.
Yeah. So obviously we're all closed. You can't go in anywhere and do a tasting, but he does have a website and webpage. Just just up and running. So
Yeah.
check it out.
And
When you can go visit again, go visit them.
Can you hand me that other bottle? We're also drinking a little Lewis Wines Estate Rosé. This is from their place. If you guys don't know Doug and Duncan, super great friends, super great guys. This is a blend of Touriga Nacional and Tinta all from the estate. So lots of good stuff. So think good question. Thank you for
all
asking
Texas wines tonight.
Yeah,
Support our
absolutely.
friends.
Yeah, for sure. All right. First,
thank you, Albert.
first
I
question.
have been.
The question is, are you ever going to bring back emotion?
Yes.
Um,
We used to have this awesome wine that everyone loved, and it had a great series of labels. The first label was lots of lips on it, and then eventually the last one just had one pair of lips. Actually, the last one had one pair of lips, like really small in the back, but there were a lot of lips and then just one lip. Kind of changed every year, but it was a great wine, and I think we should bring it back.
So emotion first started out. We wanted to do a different blend and kind of like an unseasonal blend for us, like out of character. And I literally just emailed a bunch of old girlfriends, not girls that I dated. I mean,
okay, I was like, that's not the way I remember it.
And said, hey, can you kiss a piece of paper? We're working on a label and send it to me. So anyways, long story short, we should have had a picture of that label. But there's a bunch of different lips, and then we made a collage of them, one vintage.
Maybe I'll post them on my Instagram account.
Yeah, it was
We'll start
super
a Bring
cool.
Back Emotion campaign.
But the first label came out, and Katharine heard the story, and she was like, huh, you didn't ask me to have my lips on the label, which kind of got me in hot water. But we will bring that back.
Yeah. I finally did get my lips on the label, but it took like 3 years. He kept doing it without my lips.
Full disclosure, Bill does and has hated that label for years. So if enough of you keep on asking for it, which I think you should and you do, we will bring it back. So yeah.
Keep asking.
Maybe we release on Valentine's Day. That would be kind of fun.
And next Valentine's, that'd
Yeah.
be perfect. It can be in our February wine club release.
Absolutely. Let's go to the next question, shall we? Okay, got it. From Phillips Vineyard. Hey guys, good to see you. Where is your favorite international destination to visit wineries and vineyards? Oh man.
Well, I haven't traveled enough to answer that question.
That is such a
My only international destination has been France so far.
That is such
It was
a tough
awesome.
question.
And I would go back.
I love southern Spain. I've never been to Croatia, but we're dying to go.
Yeah.
We were trying to get there. But I'd probably go Oregon. You know what? I see my buddy Charlie Kidd is watching right now. The Willamette Valley is amazing. Lots of great wines up there. But if you've ever been down to Roseburg, it's a super cute little town. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get there.
No, but it's so pretty. You can stop along the way and do some hiking.
Yeah,
It's
some
really
amazing
nice.
waterfalls.
Yeah.
We spent a couple of days with Charlie a couple of years ago. I tell you what, that was some beautiful wine country. I love Washington too. So lots of good spots. But
Pretty
Paso
much if it
Robles,
has wine, we want to go.
and we've probably been there.
Well, maybe in the States, not internationally.
You know what I will say, Katharine and I did get a chance to go to the Long Island wine region.
We went to the Finger Lakes.
Finger Lakes. Wow.
But the Finger Lakes were awesome.
Yeah, we had a great time.
We were surprised.
So really great folks. Shout out to those guys. Next question: why do you guys not sign your label anymore? Oh, great question.
I wonder. Well, actually, here, just pull out Henry's. Give him an example. Henry's got him and his dad's signatures on the back.
That. Yeah.
They're not hand signed. They're just printed on the label. And we used to do that too. Where Chris and Bill both had their signatures on the back.
That's a great question. We've always thought to make our label simpler in the back. I really hate all these like whimsical BS, like, this tastes like wet forest floor and blah, blah. We also, at William Chris, we also hate to put our, put descriptions of how the wine tastes because everybody tastes wine a little bit differently. But then we wanted to keep it simple. Like we're pleased to share a piece of our world. And, I think a big thing too was we took it off when Josh started I leaned back to the executive winemaker position, and then Josh came up. We just kind of said, well, we're going to put 3 people's signature on the label, and we're going to put our assistant winemaker's signature on the label. So we kind of went away with it, and we just said, what does that add to the label? And I do think it gives it some personality, but I'm kind of glad we don't do it anymore.
It's a team. It's a team effort. It's not just a 1 or 2 person. making the wine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a better point. Like now our winemaking team is 7 deep. And
And we also are really big on wine is grown.
Yeah.
And so obviously we put the vineyard on the label, but we don't have signatures from them too. And so it's all a team.
All right, let's go to our next question, shall we? I'm trying to see, these are moving so fast. Okay. How do you go about deciding which wines will blend well together? That is a great question, Carlos. So we have programs that we really like that we've worked on for years, like say Hunter is a great example. So that's Merlot and Malbec blend. We definitely, the other day, Tony and I were working on the Hunter blend, and we had 3 different Malbec vineyards to choose from and 3 different Merlot vineyards to choose from. Obviously, the Hunter vineyard is the dominant vineyard in that blend, and we used almost all of the Hunter Merlot, but we kind of blended up and down with all these different vineyards, and we wanted to really give the High Plains and specifically kind of southeastern or southern Brownfield or southern Terry County. We really wanted to accentuate those flavors, and I think that in the end, Tony and I, that's what we were in Bill. I mean, obviously our foundation is that we want people to taste what these areas of Texas taste like. That always started out with, that was always Bill and I's goal, to really just make wine that was really representative of where it was grown. So I'd say blending wise, it's always about blending for a sense of place. What's the next question?
Good answer, babe. What are you planning for the greenhouse?
Ooh, Mary Manley, thank you for asking that.
I don't know the full plan.
We are calling it the Epic Garden in the greenhouse.
It's just going to be for our culinary program, right? Primarily.
Yeah. Well, Carol's also going to keep a bunch of flowers and stuff in there too. To do the grounds with as well. I know Chef Ty has planted a bunch of plugs and everything at his house, and he's bringing them over for the garden. But they're going to keep this rotating garden. They're going to do all the plugs and the flats.
What do you mean by plugs?
So they do like if you grow a tomato plant, you put a seed in like a flat of 50, and then you grow them up. Not all of them.
Each of the little ice cube.
Yeah, not all of them will take.
Those are plugs.
Yeah, and you'll just take them out and take the biggest ones and plant them where you want and all the good stuff. So I'm really excited. The greenhouse is awesome. We've had Andrew Sides' dad, Michael Sides, who's a carpenter. He's leading that whole project, and we've had a ton of our guys. Just God bless them, they're doing an amazing job at building that. There's a lot going on in the greenhouse, but.
Did I remember Evan asking if he could do some like grafting in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
But is he going to, or did they tell him he didn't have room?
No, we could do it. Okay. Yeah, that's the Blackman Clone Merlot. We were gonna be taking and using propagating more and more vines for our Johnson City property, which we're about to plant. So. What's the next question? Okay, from Terry Hess Bowling, what is your favorite wine with Tex-Mex?
Oh, I want some Tex-Mex.
Oh, that does.
We just had a really great dinner of leftovers. Tex-Mex would have been better.
So I'll go a couple different directions. We make Sway Rosé. It's a canned wine, and it's delicious. I love like, I don't know, I'm from San Angelo, and I just love a fresh jalapeno. Like every place in San Angelo, it seems like they'll give you. Sometimes you have to ask for it. They'll either slice up jalapenos, so you get like a fresh jalapeno on the side. And like, it's my favorite thing. Just eat a whole jalapeno and eat enchiladas. I wish I was at Fernandez restaurant right now in San Angelo.
That would be good. So you think of a dry rosé?
Dry rosé, or I gotta go like Timmins Estate Mourvèdre, or it's one of my favorites. A light, fresh,
lighter bodied.
Yeah, red wine. For sure. What about you? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I usually have beer with Tex-Mex, so it's kind of hard to think about.
Which I don't know. We don't eat that much Tex-Mex anymore, but we.
No, and when we do, it's in a restaurant, and I usually, around where we are, the Mexican food restaurants don't have great wine lists, so I just stick with beer or tea.
They're also not that great, unfortunately.
See, I disagree. I think there's great Mexican food around here. I just go with the girls when he's out of town. because he doesn't want to go.
That's true. That's true. I love the back home food.
Yeah. St. Angelo, where we grew up, has the best Mexican food restaurants.
I'm sure like everybody
For
says that.
sure.
They're like, the
Oh
kind of town I
man, yeah,
grew
you
up
wanted
in.
from Fernandez. I want to go to Armente's.
Oh man, stop it.
Yeah.
All right, next question from Leah. What's a great variety that you haven't tried in Texas yet, but you really want to?
Before you answer, I don't think either of us need glasses, but we both are like, what does it say? Anyway, you've talked about one recently. Now I'm trying to remember what it was.
Really?
I can't remember. That's why I'm trying to remember.
Good question. I feel like I've gone on this journey trying all these different varieties, and God bless Bill Blackman, the William part of William Chris, to just always be so cool about like, yeah, we'll try a little bit of this and try a little of that. I think, I don't know.
Well, one that we haven't worked with much that I know you've expressed interest in is Albarino.
Yeah, a little bit. It comes out early.
I
just got my wish where we have Picpoul Blanc that we just started working with this year that I'm super excited about. We got to drink a bottle of the 2016 Lost Straw yesterday.
Yes, we did.
That was awesome. Yeah, still drinking so beautifully. That I'm really excited about. And Picpoul is, I think, going to be around to stay because we love that wine. But I tell you what, like, instead of trying new varieties, I think we've spent the last 12 years at least trying to. I see Charlie Pinotage. Yes, Charlie Pinotage. This is we still have some old Pinotage too, and the little one I'm talking about from a long time ago. But yeah, I think we spent the last 12 years, and Bill, the last 30 years planting varieties that really work well, and I want to spend the next decade like working on those and making them better, and like keep on refining that process, and just trying to be better farmers in general. So, I think Sangiovese, Tannat, and Morvet are such great varieties to continue working with. And we're making some really nice Cab and Merlot too. I mean, nothing to shake a stick at. So, I hope that answers your question. Okay, hey Greg, good to hear from you. If you could only drink one varietal for a year, what would you choose? That is a terrible question.
It is a terrible question.
Because
we like variety.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about wine. There's so many different grapes, and then there's so many different blends you can make with them. They're all different places, all different vintages.
So I'll answer like this, but I think like I'm always protective of songs that I listen to a bunch because like as soon as I start to really like it, I'm like, done. Shit, I gotta not play this anymore because I want to really like reward myself with this song and not like overplay it and then get tired of it. So Cru Beaujolais is one of my favorite wines to drink. That's it doesn't get old for me, but I would hate to be drinking that wine
with every meal.
Yeah, for
every
a year.
Instance.
Because then what if I didn't like it anymore after a year? What if I'm like, oh my God, I never
don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. Good question, but terrible. But yeah. I don't want to think about that. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Greg. I appreciate it. It's great to hear from you.
But one good thing about answering that question, well, you kind of narrowed yours down. But if you would say Morvet, well, there's a lot of different ways that people make Morvet. But same with every grape.
I automatically think like region, but yeah, that's a great way to put it. Morvet, you could drink. Oh, you're so sneaky. Morvet is great because then you could drink rosé, you could drink red wine, you could drink. It's so versatile. We make it a ton of different ways.
We make it a ton of different ways, and there's a million other. Well, there's not that many other people that make it, but there are other people.
You could drink Texas, Bandol, California. I mean, so many great places.
Okay, that's my answer. You just gave me a lot.
All right,
of confidence.
I'm changing to hers.
Copying.
Yeah, for sure.
Copycat.
Great answer. David Frazier, good to hear from you, man. What was your best year for fruit, 2017 or 2012?
Everyone keeps saying 17. That's all I hear every week. But
do I have to pick?
Yes.
I think
yes. Just like in Dee's Happy Hour when we played this or that, you have to pick.
Oh, David, all these really tough questions. They're both fantastic. Well, I'll answer it this way. We drank in 2012 the other night. I think it was Merlot 500 block. And it was absolutely stunning. And it was such a gorgeous vintage, and the wine's still drinking beautifully. But I don't think the story's been written for 2017. I think, and you've probably heard me say, David, that 2017 is, and I think is so far and going to be the best vintage so far of my career. However, we'll see. I mean,
Like you just don't know how it's going to age. Like,
yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
already drinking so good. Are you thinking?
Yeah, it's drinking so beautifully right now, but they are a little bit higher alcohol, which tends to not let wines live as long sometimes. So I don't know. I think this, but you can't argue with the 2012. I mean, like across the board, all the Granite Hill wines are beautiful. The Hunter was beautiful, super ageable, and like you drink those wines now and you go, what more would you want, right? I mean, like they're giving you everything and they're so expressive. But I think that there's a difference too, and you got to look at Hill Country and High Plains. You know that like 16 was a great vintage in the Hill Country, not a great vintage in the High Plains. 17 was great everywhere across Texas, and I don't know. I guess
that was the. I mean, it was a great answer, really informative, but you shouldn't pick.
I'm gonna go 17. I'll go 17.
He's not letting you get by.
I'll do 2017. 2017. There it is. Next question. Derek, good to hear from you, Derek. The Relief wine is really good. Do you have any future plans to do another cooperative creation with another local somm? Great question. Absolutely. I'm sure we don't have somebody.
No plans in the works.
I tell you what. So what Dirk is talking about. We just did a really cool Relief wine. We blended a wine with Master Sommelier Craig Collins, who's been a good friend for a long time, and we are donating all of the profits to charity to the Southern Smoke Foundation, which is a really cool organization that donates money to families in need for in the hospitality industry. So sommeliers and waiters and waitresses and chefs and cooks and line cooks and
the whole industry.
Dishwashers, everybody. So which is really cool. And we had a blast doing it. We got it out in 4 weeks. You can check it on our website, WilliamChrisWines.com.
So good. I mean, not only is it for a good purpose, but
it is so delicious. Yeah, for sure.
I noticed we have one in the wine fridge.
Yeah. We had a really fun time blending that with Craig, and I don't know. I think we'll probably definitely do another project with Craig. It's just and that's how the whole thing got started. We were just kind of kicking the tires of doing something. We've had the chef at Lenoir reach out and want to do a project. We did a kind of it wasn't it was just a wine that we did for Immer and Rye. Or with Immer and Rye, they picked out a variety that they really liked. But I think we'll definitely continue to collaborate with lots of different chefs and somms for lots of different projects. So, next question, Jennifer. Good to hear from you, Jennifer.
Oh.
Did you find it hard to maintain quality with your rapid growth? Absolutely.
Well, I think I kind of have to take it backward. I think that we did rapidly grow, but we maintained our growth so that we could maintain our quality.
That's a great way to put it.
I mean, that's why we've had a waiting list for our wine club. We tried more, but we wanted to make sure it was the best we could do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, we've been able to get better equipment and better access to more vineyards. We've been able to hire the best of the best people. Our team all the way around is rock solid. Evan and Bill leading our vineyard management team. Yeah. And Tony, Josh Fritche, who was a great part of our winemaking team for so many years, is now running his own program, which is awesome. But Tony O'Feel, our winemaker now, we have such amazing folks. We have our own bottling line. Like the advances that we've made. If you look back, and this will be for David, if you look back on the 2012, you could see a little punch in the top of the cork. Like that little punch is from a hand corker. That they're not perfect. Those hand corkers, the quality control with a gravity filler and a hand corker, like all that stuff is not is not near as good as it is now. Now we have so many amazing advantages, amazing advances in technology that we have access to. The lab that we have now. And what's crazy is we don't make our wine any different. We've evolved our techniques maybe a little bit, just to get kind of sharper in some areas. But we still like in 2019, I still came home every day and my hands were black because I'm still hand punching down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're still making wine the same way. But in fact, I think we're just getting better every day. And and I also think it's important that we always look at our kind of wine compass. It's easy. It is so easy in wine to just change what you're doing and using additives and take the easy way out or take a knee-jerk reaction. And I think that Bill always taught me when making wine, and we take this to heart, like, let's express the vintage. And so we're not adding we're not adding all these lists of different things to wine to engineer a beverage. We're trying to coax out the soulfulness of each and every wine. And I think that is true today as it was in 2008 in our first vintage. And I definitely think it's been a challenge to maintain quality, but now we're just pushing the boundaries every year, and we're just getting better and better. So
that's a good question.
Yeah, great question. Thank you. Sarah, love the Granite Hill tour. Any plans to organize tours of other vineyards? Absolutely. Thank you so much.
We actually had some plans, but now everything's on hold. So we'll see.
I know the girls, Rochelle and Sean, were super bummed when we were about to launch that campaign, and so we are definitely going to do. I know if you guys had the Artist Blend and all you wine club members out there that just got released in 2018, that was from Vintage Press Vineyards, and so we were planning another tour of that farm, which is really cool because we planted that vineyard with one blend in mind, which is really cool. It's been a 5-6 year project now, and that was the first wine that I think really sung from that vineyard. So we're gonna try to do more and more of that. Yeah.
Cool.
Next question.
If we have any more,
Yeah.
Kelsey's so good from her home in Austin, feeding us questions here.
Jerry Sullivan asked, "Do you have any plans yet for opening the members building for tastings and purchases? Yeah. We realize William Chris will limit the number of people and do by appointment, but we miss you." Jerry, we miss you too.
We miss you both, Jerry.
We cannot wait to open.
We definitely are working on plans and what it could possibly look like when it's time. Mm-hmm. But there is no date set, and there's the TABC just came out with the on-premise consumption is not allowed, and so we weren't ready anyway, but that made it real easy.
It's a big step to ask our if you guys go to our curbside, everybody's gloved up, everybody's in masks. We're working very hard to keep our whole company safe. We've got folks with kids, we've got folks over 65, all that good stuff. We're definitely looking at reopening when the time is right. But right now it's just we've got to take our fans and our team and put them number one. And as much as I love to open and have people at the winery, it's just not in the cards right now. But I think as soon as we're able, we have a ton of plans. Like, we are ready to turn it on. We have a ton of plans to open up the property and allow people to walk around and enjoy safely. We're just not willing to take that risk legally, and really not willing to take the risk and put our people in harm's way. I know a lot of other companies are making different decisions than that. And, just like our wine moral compass, our values are to always be world-class.
To each their own, and we just, but sharing a piece of our world is like, one of our mottos. And it's so hard to go to work and nobody's there. The tasting room's empty. The lawn is empty. The pavilion is empty.
Yeah.
That's something that Chris always envisioned when we found this piece of property. It's like, I can just see families in the Oak Grove enjoying our wine, and on release party days when we have a crowd in there, that's the best sight. That's the best sight we could have.
Dogs and people on blankets. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest reward, and we don't get that now. So But you know what? If we screw this up, you know, we see our heaviest traffic September, October, November, and it's really important. You know, it's about to get hot outside, all that good stuff. You know, we want to see everybody, but we really need to make sure that we nip this thing and are able to open up strong in the fall. And nobody wants to open up more than us. Like, to believe me, like, to not see our fans and to just not see our parking lot full. I mean, we were millions of dollars in debt. We have 64 families and we haven't lost one of them. You know, and
everybody's still working.
Yeah, everybody's still working. Absolutely. 100%. But let's go to the next question. I know we're starting to.
Should you drink the
Adele.
2011 Enchante or hold it longer?
Great question. We drank an 11.
Thanks for driving out here and picking up yesterday, Adele.
Sorry. Yeah.
I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was Saturday.
Adele, we're thinking about you, by the way. I know we talked this morning, and we love you very much, sweet girl. And we'll be able to all hang sooner than you know. So.
Yeah. But anyway, 2011 Enchante.
So we drank.
That's a drink now, don't you think?
Absolutely. That vintage was great, but there's nothing that I want more from that wine. I mean, it just gives it all up, and it's so beautiful and so luscious. And I don't think that wine's got 3 years left in it or 2 years. You don't have to race home and drink it, but you know, that wine, nothing makes me more sad though to taste a wine that like we should have drank 3 years ago. And you know, that wine's perfect now, but I don't think it's going to be epic in 3 years. So great question, Adele.
So I can't get the mouse to work, so I can't scroll down. But Martha had a question a while back. Had you had any Bob Ross moments and had happy accident wines? I feel like there was a time where you talked about something that got messed up and it turned into something wonderful. Like you had to pivot because of a mess up. Maybe it wasn't even in the winery. Maybe it was just business in general. Do you remember? Oh, you have such a better memory than me. I figured that would just spark the memory.
I've had lots of screw ups over the years where we've needed to pivot.
But it's but you're good at pivoting and making it into something.
You know, I would say like The Bad Mother was a little bit of a pivot.
Okay, tell us how. Someone else had asked about Bad Mother before.
It was the winemaker series. So. It was mostly Ruby Cab and Merlot. And we had all these different vineyards that we had used in, I think that was 2014. And we just didn't have a good place to put them. We didn't want to make 15 different wines. And so we all went and made our winemaker series blends. And you know, we drank a bottle of that a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. It was delicious. And, you know, I think that wine went through a weird period because I had one about a year ago.
There was, yeah.
And I didn't like it.
And you were so disappointed.
Yeah. And then we drank one a couple months ago and I was like, oh my God, where did this wine come from? You have any Bad Mother,
it's good. Yeah. Right now.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I don't know. We might even have a few cases of that we might be able to put on the website. So, hey,
but you didn't even get back to your happy accident. Did you? Did you come full circle on that story?
Well, it was a happy accident. Like blending those wines together.
Oh, okay.
You know, just kind of like fumbling through the winery trying to figure out what goes well.
What you could make of
what was
here.
That tannic monster, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I didn't follow that story well.
All right, Katharine Burrell, what is your best piece of advice for a new vineyard? Oof, good question.
Know what you're getting into, I think. I'm not in the vineyard, so you're not asking me really, but I know a lot of people are interested in starting it, but they don't realize how much work it is.
Yeah.
Way more work than you think it's going to be.
I can tell you.
Really do your research. Really talk to people who are doing it.
I can't tell you how many people say like, well, I can never make wine, but you know, I can grow grapes. And like, I promise you, growing grapes is like 1,000 times harder than making wine. Like, it's way harder, like, especially in Texas. And, you know, I think people are like, well, I've had a garden and I've done this and that. Like, you know, like, it's like a heart surgeon's like, you know, I took a couple of weekend courses and I feel pretty confident, you know, like, you know, like it doesn't, you can't take a day off like during the growing season. Like,
yeah. You want to go on vacation?
Yeah.
You better go in January.
For years before we had Evan, Bill and I would never leave at the same time ever. For 7 years, we could never leave like at the same time. We could. And
there were still times that neither of you would leave them, even if the other one was there.
But I mean,
depending on the season,
you have to be there, and you have to be watching. You have to be watching the vineyard all the time, and it takes a lot of attention to detail, and also just get good help. I mean, like, don't think that you could just do it all yourself.
Yeah.
And also like, you need a full-time person for about every 5 acres. And I think a lot of people make that mistake is like,
Full-time.
yeah, you need a person that can work on 5 acres. One person do nothing but that all the time, or equivalent of a crew. So before, I know we're starting to wind down here.
Yeah, we're getting up in time.
Yeah, before I forget a few things, we've got
Chris Dietzman. You're so
the
funny.
Deets,
Oh,
Dee Dee and the Deets. So we've got a Mother's Day 4-pack today that's still available to rock out by Mother's Day.
Trust me, your mom wants this. I want this too.
Yeah, that's right. We also have the 4-pack tasting. So if you guys want to taste with us on Saturday, Katharine and I are going to be slaying wine, having a really great day. You can get on our.
It's date night theme.
That's right, and
And I'm super excited. In the pack is a vertical. 15 and 16 Sangiovese from Clink Vineyard.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's always
super,
fun to
super
compare
delicious.
the vintages.
And for those of you guys that get on tonight and snag one of those 4-packs, we're going to include Chef Ty made I should have brought one by the way, but he made salt with dehydrated. He took a Jacques and then baked it down.
Jacques is one of our fortified red wines.
Took a bunch of herbs from the garden, and then he's releasing a video I think tomorrow of him doing a pork chop, so you guys can have date night and create your own pairing with the 4-pack, which is super cool. So check all that out. You can also use the hash or use the
promo code
WCV
WCV, like William Chris Vineyards, WCV Strong for $20 off of that pack for Saturday's tasting. And then if you add 2 bottles to your package or more, of course, but 6 minimum, then shipping is on us. So add in favorites from previous weeks of tastings or things in the library, things we've mentioned tonight, whatever sounds good for you.
Yeah.
Or add on 2 bottles for your mom too.
Absolutely.
Additional.
Tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo, guys. I'm wearing my cockfighting shirt, and I'm gonna wear this tomorrow.
Right? But you've only worn it for an hour.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna have some tequila tomorrow. I think I'm gonna make a Paloma. On Dee's happy hour day, his guest was awesome talking about natural wine, but he was drinking a Paloma, and I thought that sounds delicious.
That does sound delicious. I hope you guys have an amazing Cinco de Mayo, an amazing Mother's Day. Call your mom, let her know you love her.
Don't wait till Sunday. You can do it tomorrow.
You could send her a 4-pack. I'm just saying.
William Chris 4-pack. And that thing says, "I love you, Mom."
Yeah, like William Chris. Yeah, please. Now, on a serious note, guys, couldn't thank you enough. You have all been so amazing to keep us rolling. Like 64 families. And we're thinking about not only our folks at William Chris that are our company, but also there's hundreds of families that are growing grapes and working in vineyards that we have to buy grapes this year and have to continue making wine. The grapes don't sleep. And so with your support, we're able to do that. We can't wait to get back open. But you guys buying wine online, it just puts it over for us to where we are able to do what we do. In behalf of the 64 families and Katharine and I and Bill and Beth, we love you guys, and we're so incredibly grateful for you. We couldn't do what we do without you. And stay strong out there. Love your neighbor. Love your mom. Love your wife. Love your kids. And I hope to see all of you guys on Saturday. At 4 p.m.
4
Facebook Live.
Right here at 4 o'clock.
For sure. And if you want to keep on asking questions, I'm sure maybe we can.
We can always plug in questions during the tasting or.
Absolutely. But thank you guys so much. We're from High Texas, signing out with you. So cheers. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy some Croson wine and some Lewis wine.
Have a good week. It's only Monday.
Yeah. Cheers.